Like, why am I even trying to be, bro? Like, I would just never. This is an off day for me. Don't take this seriously.
Oh, but like, you never know the guy who, you know, you're not attracted to at all. That could be your man. What if he's God-fearing and he loves the Lord?
That was so cliche. I
Yeah,
was like, bro, you can
like
do that
whatever. Like,
anytime.
I can work
I
on
was
myself
like,
in a relationship. So why would I act like somebody different to get you to like me? Because now you're not actually liking me.
No.
You're just liking a version of myself that I've created to get you to like me.
Serve you and know that you like this, so I'm gonna do this, and then I know that you'll say this because I've observed you for weeks. It sounds creepy, but it's so fast.
Welcome back to my channel. It is Adelaide and I am back with another video, and in today's video I'm starting a new series on my channel that I'm super excited about. I'm going to be talking about different topics. Honestly, mainly the foundation is all going to be about my relationship with God and how that just like helps me with everything. But for today's video we are going to be talking about dating, loneliness, singleness, relationships, everything, and I have a very special guest on my channel.
Hello, it's Jasmine, aka Vogue Simone.
Yes ma'am. I will put all of her social media on the screen and it'll also be in the description box. But let's get right into the video. Currently, I'm single, and I have been single for about like 2-ish years. No, like maybe like 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
And before that I was in a relationship for like 3.5 to 4 years.
Oh wow.
It was a long.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That was like high school?
No, that was like
university.
Yeah, university. Yeah, and then before that I was also in another relationship that was maybe like 1.5 to 2 years.
Before that one?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I've been like exactly for like 2-3 years now. So it feels very well, you know. It feels okay, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just I'm used to being in
partnership with somebody. No, for sure. I am currently single as well. I was in a relationship for about 2 years before this one, and I just got out of it recently, like almost a year ago. So that's for me.
Yeah, that's
so
recent.
very, very fresh.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what life is, you know what I mean? But like that was my first ever relationship.
Oh really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yes, I didn't date nobody before that. I don't want to say why. I really don't know. It was just not God's timing for me to date anybody. But also, I think my maturity level as well. Like, I've always been super mature, but I think I was also super scared to getting into anything serious with somebody.
Yeah.
So, whenever the opportunity could present, I was like, yeah, no. Yeah. But then this one happened. But yeah, before, I was just been used to being single, but it wasn't ever something that I was like, oh my gosh, like when am I gonna find X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
I was never really like that because I was just
That's good though.
It was good, but I think it was really good. So like the transition out of it, I still had that same mentality, which is great. That I'm like, oh my gosh, when am I gonna find X, Y, and Z?
Oh, so that's not, you don't really think about that?
No, I think I've been too focused on trying to heal from this. So I haven't had time to really think about, you know, like, oh, when's the next coming? Like, my brain's not on that.
For a while, I was, like, wanting to be in a relationship so badly that sometimes I would, like, compromise. Or, like, there's people who, let's say, on a regular day, I would not necessarily...
Hey! Please! I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, why am I even trying to, bro? Like, I would just never. This is an off day for me. Don't take this seriously. No, I feel you. Yeah. And why do you think we even be doing that?
I don't know.
It just makes me think, it's like, are we lonely? Like, why do we
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I feel like,
we just see potential in people, eh?
No, but sometimes, like, I don't know. I think a part of it is loneliness, but then I know that I'm not actually lonely.
Just being honest is like what you get out of it. Someone that's beating you up.
That's true. Attention.
It's attention. Yeah. And like that's not a particularly bad thing, but it's when you're putting somebody else into it.
Yeah.
That's when it can get really messed up. Because it's like you're putting somebody you're leading them on. You like the attention they're giving you because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But then it's at the expense of somebody else's feelings.
Exactly.
So then you have to be like, wait.
No,
I'm not this type of person. Like, why am I doing this? And you cut it off, and then they're like, huh? So it's just, am I being honest? And also, the enemy likes to come and just like tell you all these negative things about yourself.
Yeah.
And when you have those pockets where you're maybe sad, they bring things and they tell you all these lies. So then you start believing it, and you're like, huh, maybe I don't have any money. Then you start overthinking all your interactions with people.
Yeah.
You're like, do these people really even like you?
Bro.
Yo,
That
it
is
happens
so
to
real.
me like too often, and that's something I'm still trying
learning how to, like,
work through because it's not healthy and it's completely false.
Exactly.
Isn't that even
exactly. Like in moments where I start to feel lonely, I like force myself to do things that I don't want to do at the moment, if that makes sense.
Hey, like
so I feel like, for example, if I'm feeling lonely, I feel like my instinct is like to isolate myself even more because I'm like, oh, I'm so lonely, blah blah. So then I isolate myself more, and then you start to feel more lonely because you're isolating yourself, and that just leads to like even more. So for example, for me, if I'm feeling lonely or like I go on social media and I see all these beautiful couples and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I wish I was in a relationship, blah 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 blah. I'll like take myself out like on a solo date, or I'll like go hang out with my friends, or like call my family. Yeah. Like do things to remind myself of the community that I have around me, because sometimes it's easy to like wallow and have a pity party and be like, oh, I wish I was in a relationship. I wish this.
And then again, comparing.
Exactly.
So like solo dates and just spending time with myself, like whether it's in or outside the house, allows me to get to know me.
Exactly.
And I think also just tying to singleness is like, you can really get to know yourself. And I know people say that all the time, like, oh my gosh, this season of singleness, like, really get to know you, really spend time with you, really work on you. Yeah. And I used to think that was so cliche. I was like, bro, you can do that anytime.
I can work on myself in a relationship.
Me too. I was like, I can work on myself in a relationship. Yeah, you can, but like, they're not lying. It's the best time to really put yourself first and really like figure out what you like, what you don't like, what's your trigger, what's your not.
Exactly.
Really,
like what you want to do in life, what are your goals, what are you passionate about, what are some of your dreams, where do you want to live, like these things that are easier to decide when
you have no responsibilities with other people. So like, it's like really take advantage of those times.
And also I feel like too, it's like an important time to just learn how to have healthy relationships in general, because I know for me, like growing up in the church, a lot of conversation about relationships, it's always dating and it's always marriage. Like it's almost like that's the end goal of your life, is like to be married. But they don't really talk about like how to cultivate healthy friendships, how to have healthy communication, how to have healthy relationships with your family. Like all of that is disregarded. And we just talk about like, oh yeah, you're single now and then you're gonna get married. But it's like, what about your friends? What about your family? What about your coworkers? What about your neighbors? Do you know how to communicate? Do you even know how to be in a healthy relationship?
Exactly.
And that is so important for life in general.
Preach, girl. Preach. And they think that just when you have that person, when you're married, you're able to be in a healthy relationship with all of it. No, like you can be a horrible friend and a great wife. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because think about what type of validation you get from being in a relationship. You may just expect all the people that are platonic friends to just be that person for you. And then newsflash, people are not gonna put up with your stuff like your husband does. People are not gonna do this like your husband does. So I think, like you said, like they don't teach. Or they don't put emphasis on healthy relationships,
like
period.
Family.
Like, do you know how to be a good friend?
Exactly. And that's why some people get in a relationship and then all of a sudden they just leave all their friends. Because that's what, like, it's like they've been waiting for this moment. So once they get their man, it's like, peace out to everybody else. But it's like, no, it's like, you need to have healthy relationships with everybody in your life, not just a man. You know, your friends are also important. And then they cry when they don't have friends. Does that make sense? And then when they break up, Does that make
don't come for them. Don't come for them. No, don't trigger them. But it's so bad.
It's true though.
And people hear it endlessly. But it's, why do people keep talking about it? Because it still happens.
Exactly.
People still put their
crazy.
friends on the back burner.
Yeah.
When they're in a relationship, and then come running when it's
true.
over.
And like I get it. Well, not that I get it, but I understand to like an extent why people do that, because I feel like they're like, oh, we're building towards a future, and you spend more time with, you know, if you get married, you would spend more time with your husband than your friends. But like to completely neglect your friendships and only focus on a man, I feel like there's something very, you know, problematic about that, because you're also friends with your partner too, so you just need to learn how to be a good friend and
be a friend, period. Yeah, like, are you even friends with your partner?
I was talking to some of my friends, right, and they're all Christian, and for example, right, I would like to be attracted to the person that I'm dating, and not that like physical appearance is like the top of the list, but to me it plays a factor in the relationship, right? So I was telling them like, oh yeah, I like a guy who like dresses like this, or you know, presents himself well, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, but like you never know, the guy who, you know, you're not attracted to at all, that could be your man. What if he's God-fearing and he loves the Lord, blah blah blah, which ain't whatever, blah blah blah. But I think that sometimes some Christians focus too much on like spiritual characteristics that they neglect like everything else. So it's like, oh, as long as he prays and he reads the Bible, then that's fine. But like,
and then they don't even like the way that he looks.
Exactly. You also have to be. Do you even like them? Are you guys even friends? Are you compatible? Exactly. Do you have any chemistry?
But he prays and reads the Bible.
That's crazy to me.
Like me, what I can do. Yo, no, that's a really good conversation, because it's really big in the Christian world what they're talking about. Because it's like, so like delete your type, delete this, delete that, and I get it. You can't, but I feel like everything is like, what's the word? Everything needs to be in moderation. Like you can't be extreme in anything. Anything too much or too little is bad, regardless. So I feel like when they talk about that, they're talking about the people that are extreme.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, if he's not 6'5", like he's canceled.
Exactly.
Like that's extreme.
Like we're not like that, but I honestly think you do need to be attracted to your partner. What are we doing? What are we saying?
Like I'm supposed to be married,
and that's how people get stuck in relationships that they shouldn't be in.
Oh my gosh,
that's how they get stuck in relationships that they don't like. That's how they get stuck. That's why they think that they cannot divorce that partner, because they said that he reads and prays his Bible. Prays his Bible. Reads and prays his Bible.
No,
you get
it's
what I mean?
real.
They say that because he checks off these boxes.
Yeah, but
that means
what about everything else? Do you even like him?
Like God forbid that he abuses me, but he still is God-fearing and goes to church.
That's crazy.
I'm supposed to stay with him?
That's crazy.
It's like it keeps people trapped. I don't like that, but I totally get that that's such a conversation that's happening, because it's just like,
tell me like, oh, you should like not lower your standards, but you should like, oh, just like
give
this
not
person a chance, or like, oh, they love God.
So. Yeah, why are we saying people can't women?
And it's only women.
I was gonna say why they say women?
Only women.
Yeah, they're not talking to guys about this. Why they say that women can't have standards?
No, it's for you.
I'm supposed to delete my standards.
Yeah, but men don't. They don't delete their standards.
I'm sorry.
If they're not attracted to you, they're not gonna.
They're not gonna. If they're not attracted to you, they won't give you the time of day. But I need to give small boy over here the time of the day because he likes me. And be like, what? No, honestly, what's going on? Why are we telling women to do all these things and delete their standards?
I feel like I don't feel like personal. Actually, maybe like a little bit. I think, no, maybe I don't really. I feel like there's moments where I feel pressure, but it's never anything that's like that extreme.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like moments. Especially the older I get, the more of my friends who are like getting engaged, getting married. A lot of like people from my high school, they're all married now, they have kids, and then like my closer friends are getting engaged. So sometimes like the only time I feel pressure is if like people are consistently asking me like, oh, are you in a relationship now? Who are you talking to? Oh, why aren't you talking to anyone? And sometimes when people ask questions like that, it makes you feel like there's something wrong with the fact that you're not talking to anyone now, or the fact that you're not in a relationship, because they're like, oh, how come? Like, what's wrong? But it's like there's nothing wrong.
There's
you're
nothing
just
wrong.
like
That's so true. And I feel like also just like pressure will never stop. Once you get into a relationship, you're in it. They're saying, when are you getting married?
Yeah.
When are you having kids?
When are you having
another child? The pressure will always continue. I feel like pressure gets overwhelming when you look for validation and you look for 100%. Things from other people. But when you already know that you're already very good in the eyes of the Lord, you don't really succumb to all that pressure.
It's true. I felt like a relationship was going to like give me the validation that I felt like I needed, because I was just so like desperate for somebody to like tell me that they love me and give me acceptance and validation. But then you realize that like nobody can give that to you except for God. So it's like, why would I be striving so hard to get validation from another person that even the validation that people give you only lasts like temporarily? Like if someone gives you a compliment, it's like, yeah, you feel good for 2 seconds, but if you don't actually believe that for yourself, once you go home, you're still going to feel the same way that you were feeling before. Exactly.
And when they don't give it to you the next time, you forget about it.
Exactly. And like, oh, I guess I'm not, like, let's say it's that they say that you're pretty, right? And the next time they don't say it, you're going to be like, dang, like, I guess I'm ugly now. I guess I'm ugly because they didn't tell me. But it's like, that's because you don't believe it for yourself. And once you believe it for yourself, and it's like you don't crave that anymore. And then even when you get into a relationship, or even just in general relationships in your life, then that validation and acceptance from other people, which I don't think it's bad to want to be accepted or validated by the people in your life, but that doesn't become like your identity. That becomes like icing on the cake that is nice to have and it's good to have in healthy relationships, but it's like it's not something that you're striving for so badly, because you know that you already have that from God. And like the validation that God gives you, it's like eternal.
And you know, and the validation and what God gives you as well, and also do you realize that everything that we try to do to get validation, we're working for it.
Yeah.
But with
that's
God,
so true.
You know, we don't gotta work for it. It's already there. It was already bought.
Yeah,
it was already paid.
Before you were born.
And I don't have to be like, and like striving to get something.
That's true.
When it's already set in stone for me.
Exactly.
No matter if I don't do this one day, it doesn't mean that it gets taken away. Compared to working with people that are human,
you
that
do something,
it gets taken away.
Exactly.
And that up and down will go. It will be so crazy for you.
So like mentally draining.
Exactly.
So hard
it's so mentally draining to work for something that. And why am I working for something that's already exactly? So why am I working for something that is not eternal?
Exactly. That's one thing that I feel like I've learned so much. I feel like before, like, I was so focused on what other people would think and wanting other people to like me and like trying to change certain behaviors that I had, because I thought, oh, if I do this around this person, they're gonna like it. If I do this with that person, that means they're gonna like me. But now I've realized, like, I only want people in my life who are going to like me. So why would I act like somebody different to get you to like me? Because now you're not actually liking me. No. You're just liking a version of myself that I've created to get you to like me.
Because I'm so observant.
Exactly.
I can do this because I know you'll respond to this.
Crazy.
Yo, you know, us humans, we can, I have to say, I can adapt so easily.
Yeah, like mirroring.
I feel like we've been taught.
Yeah.
And not taught, but we've had to been forced to adapt, especially us being black. We
100%.
have to adapt to everything.
100%.
So, of course, I can adapt and observe you and know that you like this, so I'm going to do this. And then I know that you'll say this because I've observed you for weeks. It sounds creepy, but it's so fast. I know you're gonna say this to me because I know what you like.
So true.
And I'm not even being myself. You don't even know who I am.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that so crazy?
That's so true. And then you're not even like creating any type of authentic relationships because people don't actually know you. But like, don't you want people to love you for you. So the people who don't love you for you, maybe they just don't need to be in your life. You don't need to change yourself so they can stay.
No.
They could go over there.
You can love people from afar. You can, it's like I'm at this stage right now, and I pray that I never get off of this stage where I only want people around me that want to be around me.
And if you don't want to be around me, you can leave.
If you don't want to like me, if you don't want to love me, please leave.
Yeah, no.
I don't have time. I don't have time.
No time. Life is too busy. We have too much stuff going on.
There's too much stuff going on. I have no time for me thinking, being up at night wondering if you,
up at night, I need to sleep. I have work in the morning.
I need my rest.
Exactly.
You are not that important.
No,
it's like you aren't that important.
You're not. No, you're really not. No one should be taking up that much space
my sleep. No, I care about my sleep way too much. Hey,
no one should be compromising your peace. Listen, nobody.
I want to say like main thing is like keep going, keep pressing on, but also like know that all your validation, all your love, everything that you ever need is in Christ.
Yeah, literally.
Everything you ever need. So I know it's super hard in these singleness seasons where you're like, am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? Will I ever be? You know, you get wrapped up in like, what if this is not for me? Just know that God has so many blessings for you that it surpasses your understanding of anything. It's so beyond our mental. And me knowing that has allowed me to move forward when times where I shouldn't have moved forward. When I should be in my bed depressed. Me knowing that, and me having so much trust in Him and what He can do for me, and knowing that what I already need, well, it's already there for me. That's already readily available, and I just need to keep striving and keep focusing on Him, has allowed me to have so much comfort in times of distress. Just like really know that having a relationship with Christ is the best thing that you can ever do. I think generally, and that just falls onto, and that's like the general thing, and then everything else falls underneath. Everything else falls underneath. That's why we're able to speak like this, because of who we are and what we trust and what we know about ourselves and where our identity lies in.
I feel like keeping in the back of your head that the only thing that you really need in life is God, and that's the only thing that you need to be fulfilled, like truly fulfilled in life. And once you pursue that relationship with God, you start to realize like how insignificant everything else is. And obviously, like, we want to have relationships, we want to be in community, that is important, but it becomes less important to you when you realize how much peace and love that you receive from Christ, and how, like, how you said, like, that's already been there since before you were even born. So you're just like tapping into something that was already there, just recognizing that if you just pursue a relationship with God, He will give you all the validation and acceptance that you need, and it's already there available for you. You just need to open up. And even if you don't know how to, just like say a simple prayer like, God, I need you. God, I need help. I don't know what to do. And He'll be there. And that's it. That's like all you need to do.
And so many other things will follow.
Yes.
So many other
crazy.
Things. It's like crazy how instantaneous
exactly.
it is. So.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I loved this and I'm excited to do more. Let me know what you guys thought of the video down in the comment section. Any questions that you have, let me know. Any other like topics as well that you guys want to be discussed, let me know in the comment section. Again, I will leave all of Jazz's social media on the screen and also in the description box. Make sure that you go subscribe to her channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.